Welcome back. Hello and welcome back to prequel number 3. We'll be looking today at another competency profile that we've done with the AI Guild. So this is prequel number 3. I have been experimenting with this. If you've seen it before, great. We're going to be looking at this competency profile today, so a head of data. You'll get to see it in more detail in just a minute. So the point is that this is always based on an individual competency profile of a practitioner where an in-depth interview took place. We looked at the CV, we looked at the LinkedIn profile. We really spent some time talking about the experience in depth and distilling from that the personal competency profile that shows what they're doing, what they're capable of, and also what their track record is, to be able on a single slide show to line management, senior executives, hiring managers, colleagues, and everybody who's in the field, what exactly this personal competency profile is in that role, in this case as head of data. Now, why are we doing this? We're doing this because ever since the field has been in existence, it's been clear that the most successful practitioners actually have a competency profile. So you're looking here at the representation from the very beginning of the field called Analyzing the Analyzers, which was based on self-reported data and which distilled kind of like competency profiles back then for the data business person, the data creative, and the data developer. You realize this was done before data scientists, data analysts, and so on became the common designations. But already back then, and you may also have heard about this notion of the T-shaped competency profile. So you can see the origins of the idea of the T-shaped competency profiles, where data professionals share a certain breadth of competency together with certain professional depth. And this professional depth is according to a particular role they have, and also, of course, to their own unique career progression and development. Now, why are we doing this? Why are we talking about competency profiles? What is in it for you if you're now watching or you're thinking of doing your own, or how to use your competency profile? So number 1 would be promotion. Number 2 would be search and outreach. Number 3 would be to use it on LinkedIn or any other professional network you're on. And number 4 would be for interviewing. So promotion. So the competency profile should enable you to schedule a conversation about your career opportunities inside the company with your line manager, senior executives, whoever is the person you should be talking to. And it's really, really wonderful to use this to prepare, because at a glance, in 60 seconds, the person that you're talking to can get what this is about. Number 2, you can use this for search and outreach. So you can contact senior industry colleagues. You can simply attract more interest. You can use this, for example, when you're going to conferences and you want to speak to somebody, when there's also somebody maybe not in your line management in your company, but somewhere else in a department in your company. So there's a way of using this, of getting in touch with colleagues and facilitating conversations, facilitating meaningful professional exchanges, and helping you simply to do your job better and to navigate your career better. Number 3 is LinkedIn. So I'd like to think of it like that. Even in your current company, if it's kind of like a bit sizable, it's likely that your colleagues may first go and find you on LinkedIn to kind of get an idea of who you are. So you can do whatever, you can reuse whatever you have in your competency profile to shape your LinkedIn profile, your header, your about section, and also the way you highlight your professional experience. And then number 4, if you are actually, for whatever reason, looking for a new challenge and you are talking to other companies and you get invited for an interview, I personally recommend sending in the competency profile to structure the interviewing process. It really helps it to do that on your own terms, I think. So here's the overview again. You can see that it has a T-shape, and we're now going to look at each of the individual elements. So we're looking at a head of data. We're actually looking at a head of data that is a data scientist. So the way to present that here is to say, I lead in choosing the best matching algorithms and providing quality assurance based on a deep understanding of the mathematics and design options. with a proven track record of 30 plus use cases in 10 years. So the point here is indeed the proven track record. So the 30 use cases, this person could be queried on, okay, so, really 30, what use cases? Give me some examples. But I think 30 use cases over 10 years is highly credible. And indeed invites your conversation partner to query this and find out more. And then there's a clear claim how this leadership is done, okay? It's about the best matching algorithms based on quality assurance, okay? And this particular person has a background that allows him to have a deep understanding of mathematics and statistics. So there's this really very high level of numeracy that allows him to ascertain the quality of the models that are being built and deployed. So number one, data science. Number two, value. So we have a head of data here working in companies or for companies. I translate business opportunities into analytics and ML solutions. For example, energy saving optimization as part of a digital twin in manufacturing with a return on investment of 5x in 12 months. So this is a specific claim. Of course, it's the best solution that was delivered with the highest return of investment that gets mentioned here. But it kind of like shows the focus on providing this type of value and also gives a specific example that can be queried, right? So what does it mean that there was a return of 5x in 12 months? How did you measure that? What was the baseline? What was the improvement? We don't give the specifics because, of course, they may be confidential to a company, right? So you can share the general stuff, but sometimes that's exactly how you do it. So there's a strong claim here that can be queried and substantiated. And it kind of shows, if you kind of look at these two things together, the data science and the value, that is the value creation by building models that produce a return on investment. That's the claim. Okay. In the T-shaped competency profile, we then have kind of like flanks to this. So when data scientists and value creation are the core, we kind of have leadership to the one side. This is a head. So team delivery with line management of up to 6 seniors driving use case implementation as part of data transformation, cloud migration, BA, digital twin, and so on. So the point here is that the person says, I have a track record of team delivery, and actually in the position that I have, I might have up to 6 seniors reporting directly to me, okay? Not just, never mind, so to speak, then the juniors or other people, but just 6 seniors. So this is, directing 6 seniors that makes you this kind of head of data, right? It shows that you are capable of leading a larger ensemble of people. And then the next point here is customer. So this particular person was head of data in a service firm providing services for other corporate customers. So a customer-centric approach to B2B by assessing risks and barriers for a successful implementation. So this is a statement about the style of work in this particular line, this customer-centric approach, and by really focusing for the client on the risks and barriers. So if you think about data science modeling and getting stuff into production, you actually really need to understand early on what are the risks. Is my model going to be good enough? Do I have the MLOps infrastructure? Is this going to work? And you need to minimize your risks. That's how you safeguard your investment, right? And then you need to understand on the road to there, what are the major barriers? What are the obstacles? What's going to delay me? What's going to throw me off track? What is it going to make less likely that I get there? Because while you need to minimize the risks to kind of safeguard your investment, you then need to be able to remove the barriers to ensure that you're successful. So there was this claim about return on investment, right? So this is exactly, you first minimize the risks to get there, and then you remove the barriers to make sure that you get your 2x, 3x, 5x return on investment. And this is part of this claim. Okay, the competency profile then comes together kind of like in a statement, like who am I professionally, okay? So for this head of data, 10 plus years as a data scientist in financial markets, market research and consulting, achieving head of customer engineering, B2B, leading a team of senior specialists. We spoke about the details. During the past 4 years, 20 plus use cases went to production. So this really is significant, a significant achievement, because that means an average of 5 per year. That's a high number. I excel at meeting customer needs and securing value-based implementation as part of digital transformation. So here you go. This is the full range of the competency profile. Here is, again, so to speak, your overview view of the whole thing. Kind of showing what this particular person in their career has accomplished, where they are at, and also what they could be, what they could be trusted. So if somebody is a head of data and a head of customer engineering towards B2B clients, he could now be entrusted with running operations, for example, in a large corporate firm with a large data infrastructure, as, say, director of the data platform or director of data science, in making sure that on the infrastructure the models are being produced. So there's also clear, when you look at this competency profile, what are steps forward and steps up in this particular career trajectory. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed what you've been looking at, and you can immediately see the value in building your own competency profile, reaching out in terms of a promotion or reaching other senior colleagues in industry for your interviewing purposes and getting your LinkedIn up to scratch, so to speak. Why are we doing the competency profiles? So we're doing it because we know from experience and we know from data that the number one impediment for companies at the moment is access to practitioners with the right skill set. Okay, so companies have an issue with competency, with lack of competency. And we provide these competency profiles so that companies can find exactly the right match for them and start building teams that have this impact, that get stuff to production, keep it there, and either make or save money for the company by deploying data. So we're addressing this number one impediment, and we're working bottom up to make things better for practitioners and companies. So better careers and better outcomes for companies, so that the path to a data-centric economy can be taken, and on that path we can accelerate. Now, if you've been watching so far and you like it, do you want your personal competency profile? There's really two things you need to do. First, you need to go and find the AI Guild on the web at theguild.ai and register, join, and become a member. Once you've become a member, you can then sign up for a career workshop. Actually, we provide career workshops online, so anybody can join from anywhere. And you can do that through the same website at theguild.ai events. You will find the workshops that are designed to give you a competency profile. There's a hard requirement. You need to have at least 3 years as a data professional. If you cannot show that you have 3 years as a data professional, you won't be able to take the workshop. But if you are, you can join. Actually, any data professional can join the AI Guild as a member. That's the requirement. You need to be a data professional. And then we also have workshops for the juniors, and this is the workshop for the senior, where you get to build your own competency profile that you can then use for advancing your career. Okay, thank you very much for listening to this third prequel. As of next week, we're going to go live with individual competency profiles. And for the rest of the year, every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central European Time, there's going to be a new competency profile of somebody who's a senior, a lead, a head, a director. So all these senior positions will show each one: engineering, data science, NLP, data analytics engineering, you name it. We're going to cover them all. Thank you for watching. See you soon.